Hi everyone. We're reading chapter 4 of The Boy Who Grew Dragon. You ready? Okay. It's called It's a Dragon. Okay. So maybe you'd totally be cool if you found a dragon in your bedroom. Maybe it wouldn't faze you at all and you'd know just what to do. You'll be all like, hey, cool, there's a cool dragon and I'm cool about that. But me, I didn't have a clue what to do and I definitely wasn't feeling cool about it. I mean, it was a dragon. It might have been big enough that it could sit on my hand, and so far its fire breathing had only produced a spark, but hello, it was a dragon. It made a strange fizzling match sound again, and the most I could manage to get out at this point was a whispered, wow. Then we stared at each other for a really long time. My head was always brimming with ideas and stories. Miss Logan says my imagination is like a geyser. I'm sure it's geyser, gushing out of ideas. So geyser is I googled it. It's a type of vent in the ground and it splurts up lots of water. But right then it was like the geyser had been sat on by one of those enormous elephant seals with a weird shrunken trunk, and all I could squeeze out was, there's a dragon in my room on the carpet right now. Talk about stating the obvious. Then, bit by bit, the elephant seal flubbered away and the geyser spluttered back to life. I pictured a dragon shooting out mighty flames and me riding across the sky on its back. And I thought, I'm going to have the most utterly mind blowing, amazingest pet of all time. Move over, Liam. I have the best bike, scooter, radio controlled biplane, and obstacle leaping, hamster swaston, and make room for my dragon. Suddenly the little creature took a flutter hop towards me, and for a second I wondered if it would turn out to be as mean as all the books had said and launch itself at my face. Maybe it'd send flames at my eyes, or scratch me with a sharp claw. This could be dangerous. This could be a dangerous pet. I'd probably go into school with scars and have to explain how I had to wrestle my pet to the ground before I could get out the door. I guess that might not be ideal, not on a day to day basis anyway. I started weighing up the pros and cons, remembering the cuddly class guinea pig, then comparing it to the ferocious, lime shredding, fire breathing reptile. But even with the possible loss of limbs, there didn't seem to be much contest. A dragon was a pretty cool pet. And the more I watched it, the more I realized that this particular dragon didn't look very mean or dangerous. In fact, as it tilted its head to one side and hiccuped out a little smoke ring, the word kept popping into my head was cute. I stayed as still as I could. I remembered something about letting dogs sniff your hand before you say hello to them. So when it didn't move again, I slowly reached out my hand, resting it on the carpet just in front of the little creature. Another flutter hop, and there was a dragon sitting on the palm of my hand. An actual live dragon. It kept its wings half unfurled as it swept its head from side to side. Unfurled, just kind of if it furled in, furled out. Well, curled in, curled out. Inspecting my fingers, which were now warm from its breath. I could feel its claws treading into my skin like a cat trying to get comfy. I didn't dare move in case it disappeared in a puff of this can't really be happening smoke. Slowly, I got to my feet, keeping my hand as steady as I could. Suddenly, I decided to assume it was a he, started jiggling from foot to foot, leaning forward as if he was about to launch and then pulling back. Like I did on the diving board at the pool, wanting to dive but hating that moment when I had to step off into nothing but air. I thought about how baby birds learn to fly, and also I'd seen how their tiny body, and also how I'd seen their tiny bodies on the ground sometimes, the ones who had flown too soon. Was it the same with dragons? Before I could open my mouth to speak, he had taken the plunge. For a moment, the tiny dragon was flapping upward, nose thrusting forward, his wings shimmering. But then he blew out a smoky puff and began to drop, and my heart sank. I lurched forward to catch him, but just before he landed in my outstretched hands, he flapped and rose again, and he was off, soaring away over my bed, still reeling a bit from side to side, but most definitely aloft. I watched as he swooped back round and landed with a bump on my desk. In my relief and excitement, because let's be clear, a dragon had just flown around my bedroom, I clapped my hands and gave a whoop of delight. The little dragon lifted his head and let out another smoky hiccup, this time followed by a tiny orange spark. Then he hopped towards me. Things I noticed from close up: glittery wings, scales that rippled through every shade of red, eyes like diamonds, hot smoky breath, sharp claws, 3 at the front, 1 at the back of each foot, arrowhead tail, which he didn't seem to be able to control very well because every so often he would whip it around and bash himself and then twist his head around in an alarm as if he was being attacked, 2 little horns, one longer than the other. Things I did not notice: Tom Tom. So, that's chapter 3. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys soon. Bye.